What a way to kick off the show.
Ooh, what is this, episode 15? And there's one out there lost.
Yeah, there's a lost episode. We don't know what happened.
Yeah, actually, it won't upload for us. So it's like it's not meant to be listened to.
Exactly.
That's crazy how that happens.
It is crazy. So it's been a while, and it's because, like we told you, we do this at our leisure and when we're feeling called to do so. And it's more so our records of research and things to that effect during our spiritual journey. So, you know, it only comes when it's supposed to come. And if that episode was lost, or if it just don't upload, it wasn't meant to be heard at that time, you know, or at this time, I should say. So maybe one day it'll be a lost episode that we can roll out.
Yeah. So we were just talking about integration. Me and Dallas's path are very much well aligned, and these things that we've encountered, like since getting back in each other's lives, which was 2020, right?
Yeah. Sorry.
Was it 2020?
It was 2020, yeah. Like May of 2020.
I feel like it was like 20 years ago.
I was on the road and I was really struggling. That was when I was at one of my biggest weights. Mm-hmm. Actually, the biggest weight. I was at I can't remember, 369 or something. It was a big weight. Anyway, that it was in May, and I was walking up the road, and you passed by, and you were getting ready to hit the road and go somewhere, and you said we should walk that Monday. So, yeah, it's been ever since then. We reconnected.
Inseparable.
And the funny thing is, we were that same way before, where I had to move, or I didn't have to move, where I chose to move away and stuff. It kind of distanced everything, you know?
Yeah, I think that's the lessons that we had to go through separately, not in each other's lives, because we wouldn't probably have the best friendship at that moment.
No.
I don't feel like.
It wasn't ready, I don't think. But it is, clearly everything happens for a reason, and we've seen that time and time again.
Like when you can be, we talk about this to everybody, is like when you can be in the room with someone and be able to express yourself and not feel judged, and be able to take excuse me, be able for that other person to help you in healing by, you know, making you recognize things in yourself and you not reacting with a defense mechanism of the ego. That is a friendship.
That is, and I think we found that very quickly when we got back together. Our energy really works well together, and it's because of all the shit and all the similar situations that we've been through separately.
Yeah.
During that time that I was up there, I was probably the worst times of my life as far as experiences that I had to go through and stuff like that, which shit happens, and this is not a woe is me, but it's I'm thankful that they happen to get me to where I am, you know, and just life. You've got to experience, you can have all the spiritual knowledge that you can acquire from a book or anywhere in your head, but until you experience that in life and learn how to integrate it, then it's different, you know?
Exactly, which is where we were talking about.
Yeah, we were talking about being the best versions of ourselves, really, you know, because in 2020 we were rocking it out. We were walking, we had got fit, we were looking good, we were feeling good. It was unstoppable.
Yeah.
So now we've got that same momentum rolling, and it's beautiful, and only better this time because we have more more life experiences, and these are ones that we've got to go through together, you know.
Yeah.
And these were major ones that we were needed in each other's lives for.
Yeah.
So it's cool how spirit works in that manner.
It is. It's a beautiful thing. So today we actually, it's been a while. We've talked about this. We've gone through what we have, and even on the show, when we've done the show in the past, I mean, you can tell our mindsets where we're at there by our energy, obviously. But, you know, we would talk about how we knew that one of the last pieces that we have is we're always healing everything, don't get me wrong, but one of the things to overcome was the body, and so we knew it was going to be the hardest part. And in the moments we reminisce now on our eating habits. Like,
Yeah, we
put away a motherfucking Pepperidge Farm.
Yeah, listen, we had this conversation yesterday, and we got through some hard times by leaning on some good ass food.
Fuck yeah,
and
man.
when she says Pepperidge Farm cakes, them whole cakes,
Oh, God, they're so good.
we'd cut into 4 squares and eat 2 apiece.
Yes.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Or little lemon cakes that didn't stand a chance.
Cakes, yeah.
But guess what? We were healing some hard shit during
Hell
those
yeah,
moments.
man. Let me tell you. Well, I'll tell you what too. Also, we were doing stuff on our spirituality,
Oh, God, yeah.
our spiritual
so much
stuff,
that
our
you
shamanism.
guys know about, but
Hell yeah.
really, we've not got to talk to you guys since we've really started having things go for us.
There's been
spiritually.
so much that's happened. I think the last show, I can't even remember what we talked about.
I can't.
We always
remember.
revisit. We always
Yeah.
kind of, but that's cool though.
Yeah.
We kind of.
Well, we're at completely different points in our lives as far as the last show goes. We were
Yeah.
probably still going through some shit, which
Oh,
we're
true
always
that.
going through some shit. But guess what? We're learning how to deal with it.
Yeah.
It's just crazy how much has happened spiritually that
For real.
we've gained the knowledge of along our shamanic path, of course,
Mhm.
especially. We've had some major realizations with the help of some sorts of plant medicine
Yes.
about our
we
shaman
didn't talk about
about our
this. Okay.
shamanistic walk, and
Yeah.
and how you actually delve into different planes of existence.
Yeah.
We would liken it to purgatory, and
Yeah.
sometimes as shaman we have to get down and dirty. We have to go into people's personal hells, and
And
that
that's
was
what we did.
Yeah, that was a major realization for us. And
Yeah.
we've been doing it this whole time. We just didn't call it anything. And
No.
I've always tended to lean toward the shamanic path, but I never would call myself a shaman.
Yeah, you didn't feel like you were worthy.
I didn't feel like I was worthy. Now I feel like I got some, and still, don't get me wrong, I'm a baby in all this, probably still too, but I feel like we've got some really good experience under our belt.
Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing about shamanism is people that need to understand about shamanism. There's different types of shamanism, but there's all-encompassing shamanism, and it's just like spirituality. You just encompass different parts of a shaman, but also from a cosmic stance. Now that energy is something different.
It is, and we were having this conversation walking up the hill yesterday. We
Yep.
were talking about how we've never felt like we're from here, or
Yeah.
that we may align with what people call star seeds or star people,
Pleiadians, right.
Pleiadians, but we have a hard time putting our labels on things. You know?
Yeah.
But I do have that longing, and I know you do, to a place that I've never been physically. And also that sounds corny. It's like the skies opened up and there stood Jesus,
Well,
but not really.
That's really, that's how it is for us, though.
Yeah,
I mean, that's how
it's a longing like Beulah Land. But no, it's really like a feeling that you've never been from here, or
Yeah.
you don't resonate with regular human beings, because
Yeah.
we do things differently on the shamanic path. And I believe that all shaman or star seeds or whatever? No, I'm not saying that. But I say that there is a deeper level of shamanism than typically people think about the natives
Very,
and their
yeah.
religious shamanism.
Yeah.
It actually originated in indigenous, like Siberia. Yeah. But to walk this path, it's hard to explain, but you know what I'm talking about. And you, as in Holly over here, she's walks the same path, and that's beautiful to have somebody that you can relate this stuff to.
Yeah.
But it's a different feeling because we have such a bigger understanding of
yeah.
just earthly things.
Yeah, the physical. A lot of people can't get over the physical, and that's the logical side of us, which we all do have a logical side. I mean, I feel like we both have a very healthy logical side. Sometimes we probably are a little bit too logical, but it's stuff that spirit gets you to work on in them lessons.
Absolutely.
So all that shit that we were going through in life, just personally, man, it's so hard sometimes. When you're in situations that are hard,
Yeah.
it's just hard, lower vibrational situations when you are like a caged bird and ready to fly the fuck out like a phoenix.
And that's part of that walking planes.
Yeah.
You have to be stuck down in these lower planes of existence sometimes just to help whoever it is that you're supposed to be
You
helping.
have to
on the
understand
path,
what
you
it's
know?
like to be in
Exactly,
hell.
right.
And we know what it's like to be in hell, and everybody has their different versions of hell. I've been in my own personal hell before.
Yeah, I've been in my own personal hell. God, like, it's so easy to slip down into that personal hell.
Yeah.
Now, I'm proud to say in the past 2 years, I've worked on that shit more than
Hell yeah.
I ever expected I'd be able to in my life, and I've got a pretty good handle on that. But I've been there, and when you take plant medicine, it's something that's sacred, something that shouldn't be entered into lightly.
Exactly.
And you have these poignant, scariest hell experiences,
dying of self moments.
Yeah. And that's needed in your spiritual path. That knocks that ego out completely, you know?
So, what we're doing some research into plant medicine. And, of course, you guys know we're tokers. I mean, that's just obvious. But going into mushrooms, the psychedelics, we have been researching that for quite a while. And everybody's different. Everybody reacts to these a little bit differently. But overall, what happens is this medicine is meant to break down your walls and take you into purgatory, that place of where you hide your shit, don't deal with it, the shadow self.
Yep.
So when we went down into our first big session, that's what it was. It was a very ugly, dark place.
Mm-hmm.
So we talked about that just a minute ago, is dipping down into the other planes of existence.
Yeah,
and
because even if you're the guide in that, like we shamans are,
Right.
then that is you. You have to dip down and get into that ugliness right with somebody.
Right. So, this being said, if you guys participate in any of these, always, especially on a spiritual level, have a, not only maybe a shaman, just someone who is a grounder, someone who's going to be your person to bring you back down, or and that person should not be anybody that you have a past with, especially a traumatic, abusive past with.
Mm-hmm.
So just putting the warning labels out there, and of course this is sacred medicine. This is put on the earth for us to use spiritually to overcome things, and it's just like ayahuasca and many other peyote.
Yeah, I think it wholeheartedly will help with mental illness, with
Yeah.
it forces you to work on your shadow aspects.
Yes.
Like she said, it is the realm. It takes you to the realm of everything that you keep bottled up and you don't want to think about or you don't want to process.
Mm-hmm.
Guess what? It busts that door right open and
It
says,
does.
"I'm here."
It does,
You know,
and then you have to be careful.
You have to be careful because you never know what's lurking there for you. So that's why it's very sacred and shouldn't be entered into lightly. And that's why we personally will sage in just like a circle that we would do, you know.
Yeah, we treat it very sacredly. I
And
mean,
what's cool is I've heard numerous accounts of people's experiences after doing the shrooms and all that. And it is all very similar because it's all mostly people that haven't ever had a spiritual experience before. So in just the everyday average meditation, I experienced a lot of the things like the fractals and all the colors and all that people experience already. And then I've dealt with a lot of shit in meditation, you know, so I wondered, you know, what would be waiting for me there or whatever. So it's always cool. You never know what to expect.
Yeah, you don't. And like, we found out a lot about ourselves in our journey on plant medicine. Absolutely. I mean,
For
it brings
me,
about a lot of closure.
it does, and it opened up a door to
Opens
shamanism
up,
that I never expected would open. You know,
Yeah.
that the reason I wasn't calling myself a shaman, you know,
Yeah.
because I didn't feel like I had the experience to do it. But
Right.
now I feel very confident with it. I know that it's a calling of mine. You know,
Yeah.
so
He
that's
stepped
cool.
into his power.
Yeah, you have to.
Yeah.
Very
I
much
love
so.
it. We actually had that conversation.
Yeah.
You know, because I know we actually probably talked about this on the show before, but I'm going to recap. So we talked about our, you know, as friendship, what we wanted for each other. And, you know, I made sure to let him know that, because this is part of making people know that you are safe and that it's okay, like, to put down all your guards around them. But, you know, for me, it's just seeing you step into your own, and I wanted that in you from the beginning.
Yeah.
And because of previous friendships and how they went in my life,
Yeah.
it was important for us to be.
Yeah, exactly. I've learned a whole lot from you, and it's invaluable the amount of shit that we've learned together.
Yeah.
And that's something that's never going to be taken away from us.
No, I know
That's
that.
bonded us in steel.
Yeah.
Forged
But you
in fire.
realize too, like I've had people who come into my life, and I was their mentor,
Yeah.
but they wasn't ready for everything.
Right.
And so it wasn't the people that I could grow with.
Right. Exactly.
So think about that too. It's a good lesson.
Yeah.
So is the people in your life, in your circle, people that you can grow with.
And the people that can hold you accountable.
Exactly.
Because I am the type of person where I spent 10 years out in worldly adventures and letting everything in the world distract me from my spirituality. So it's good to have somebody to hold you accountable, to sit down and say, hey, we're going to meditate, we're going to do this.
Yeah,
So
routine.
that is a nice perk of it too,
It is.
And everybody needs that person. I'm telling you guys,
do.
find that person.
Yeah.
Because it'll change your life.
It will change your life if you let go of all them egos and everything. And if, people, a lot of people are so guarded, and because they've been done so wrong so many times.
They're closet awesome.
That's a lack of boundaries there,
Yeah.
but people got to learn boundaries. It's
You
important
do.
for you to do that, to build upon a relationship with a friend, or any type of relationship. You have to do that. It's that being able to be 100% you around someone, not feel judged, and know that you want to see each other like win.
Yeah, exactly.
That's how we both are.
And also that you can sit in meditation and tell the other person something that you've channeled, and then respect and believe that you did do that, because we've had the same damn experiences.
Yeah, people always ask that, how do you overcome the fear of judgment? Because I'm telling you, we've shared our journey and coming into every little aspect of it, from doing mediumship readings, which I still struggle with because of the same thing.
Me too.
But
it's
that's
not my
okay.
path. I mean, it's not what I'm meant to be doing right now.
No,
so.
if that's supposed to come through, it will come through. So you realize that you have to let it naturally come. Spirit knows what each person needs.
Yep.
So that's the way that I see the readings,
Same.
especially the mediumship readings.
Yep.
Because it's come through before.
It has, and we've done it time and time again. We do it at the shop all the
yeah.
time.
And of course, working with the paranormal peeps,
Yeah.
we're on 100%. That's a whole
Right.
different story. Oh, we haven't told them. We are actually consulting psychics for the Crypto Crew. So
Yeah.
you can check them out on thecryptocrew.com.
Yep, thecryptocrew.com. Head investigator is Thomas Markham and Tony Felosi.
Yeah.
And Jen Fugit
Jen.
does a lot for them too.
She does.
But they're
Awesome team.
great team. We had a really awesome investigation with those guys in Eastern Kentucky recently, where we dipped down into those depths as part of our shamanistic path. But you look for the video. I don't know where to tell you to go look for it, but
It ain't
look for
out
it.
yet.
We'll
It's
share
gonna
the
be on
shit out of it on
Amazon.
Facebook whenever it comes out, I'm sure. if we
Yeah,
can.
when they get the episode out, it'll take a while for Amazon, and I think it's Tubi or I don't know, a bunch of others. It takes them a while to get through there, but we're excited about it because we got to be able to take stuff that we've learned and put it
integrate it
into
into
the paranormal.
yeah, which is something cool,
Yeah.
because we both investigated the paranormal for a long while,
Yeah.
and just very scientifically with the equipment and all that
Yeah.
shit. That's not for me anymore.
No.
I go on my feelings and my gut instinct.
Exactly.
And
Well,
we had some really awesome stuff come out of that.
Yeah.
We dealt with a vortex,
Yes.
which I don't know how much I should talk about. But anyway, we dealt with repression.
Yep.
And we also got to sit in deprivation
Yeah.
and use our abilities. And it was really awesome.
It was on point, guys. Like, as soon as them headphones went on, because they were the really good ones, they're for shooting guns on the range or whatever.
Yeah.
But as soon as you put them on,
Yeah.
you can feel that.
You can.
coming
It's like
on.
a shift.
Yeah.
And then you just say whatever comes to your mind in meditation.
Uh-huh.
Basically you're in or your third eye view, which we talked
Yeah.
about that.
It's a-
but,
We don't realize it because, like, we just feel like everybody. It's hard when you get this knowledge and these and try to explain them to people. We probably sound, like I don't get what you're saying.
right. So we try to explain
Yeah.
that to everybody.
Yeah, it's just not everybody's ready to hear our
No,
messages.
but it is so worth listening to if you can.
Heck yeah.
Um,
And if so be it, like 20, 30 years from now, that someone stumbles along this.
Yeah, I hope that's my hope. My hope for all of this is that 50 years from now, somebody's in a digital archive and they pull up Contact
Yeah.
Buzz and they're hearing us talk about this at this very moment. That would just make me smile.
It will make me smile too, because we have even channeled messages. It's like you will be teaching people. People will read about you.
Uh-huh.
So that's something that we know.
And what's cool is channeling is such a huge part of what we do in shamanism, and that's as far as everything. Like we've been channeling through spirit to do our paintings and stuff lately.
A lot of
And let me
ways.
tell you, the more you exercise these abilities, the better they work. It's like a
yeah.
muscle.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's getting to the point where we're just sitting down and our hands are doing the work, and then here's our painting.
Exactly.
Oh, and that's the same with energy work. That's the same with
Mhm.
healing. That's the same with
Yeah.
everything. We connect to that energy, let it flow through us as a conduit, And
Exactly.
it's the same with channeled messages that we get, the same with actually physically speaking and channeling. It's spirit putting synchronicities in front of you.
It's one big.
Yeah.
Oh God, what was we was on your porch yesterday, and I said, "Flousy, flousy."
Yeah.
No, I
something
called
about
Gracie Flossie.
Yeah.
I called his niece Flossie, and he said, I sit back down and I was thinking,
First
first class. And Dallas started singing it.
Yeah.
I didn't say nothing at all. I just said Flossie, and in my head I was singing it, and then he
It's
belted
the
it
same
out.
exact lyric, yeah.
Like, it's been
and that
crazy.
shit happens all the time. We forgot the dragon figurines.
Oh my God, yeah. So we've been doing a spiritual draw every day on Appalachian Spiritual Retreats. Check it out on Facebook, by the way. But anyway, it was the what is it called? The Earth Dragon Tarot. Something.
Oh Lord!
Oh
I
wait,
think
it's over here. It's the Celtic Dragon.
Yeah, the Celtic dragon.
The Celtic
Tarot.
Dragon Tarot. But anyway, so we decided to use that deck for the card of the day, and I had these little bitty dragon figurines. Now, mind you, we didn't decide to use that deck until, well, what was it?
Well, we
You
were-
wanted the blue bottle,
Yeah.
and I said, "Oh, let's do these dragons. They're cute.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
it's just going to be a dragon deck."
Yeah. Yeah.
That's what it was.
So-
So we set it real cute.
Yeah. It was adorable, and you can see the picture on Appalachian Spiritual Retreats. You just have to dig at this point, because we're probably not going to roll this out for a day or two. You'll have to dig back. Anyway, I did the daily reading, and it was something completely different. I forget.
King
what-
of Swords.
Yeah,
Because I
something
got
like
Queen
that.
of Swords.
Yeah, that's right. So, well, no.
Oh.
That was the second
For the
one.
world. It was the
for
Pinnacles, Three of Pinnacles.
The Three of Pinnacles is what the
I
card
remember
was.
that.
But then after, and we took the picture, and I did all the things, and I posted the daily reading, right? And I said, oh, I might as well do a daily reading for me specifically. So I turned the King of Swords, and I was reading the description out loud to Holly, and it said something about tiny dragon figurines used in the design. I lost my shit. I was like, it was like Harold Crick from Stranger Than Fiction.
Yeah.
That book was narrating our life right there. It was so crazy.
Yeah, we're shit's like that has been happening too. But I don't know. We just spiritually right now. I'll tell you where I feel like I'm at a little standstill But it's because I feel like we're going through that integration. And it's that two parts of yourself that come together, but healed parts of yourself, and to be, like you said, the better version of yourself.
I think wholeheartedly for me, I think we are on the verge of fixing the body portion of it.
Oh, God,
I feel like we've got the mind and the spirit part, and now the body, and then that's total integration, right? That's complete enlightenment right there. So I don't know what's going to happen from here, but I do feel that little pause right there too.
It is a pause. It's like the weirdest feeling, because we haven't been really going into deep meditations lately.
But I don't think we've needed it.
Exactly. See, that's what we always know when this happens, that it's because we're getting ready to pop. Something's about to pop open, which the card said. Yeah,
which we know, and all the shamanic stuff that's been really speaking to us lately, So something major either on the other side or this side is happening.
Yeah,
I think it's because this is the moment for us. This is us finally fixing the body portion, and that's a total enlightenment.
Yeah, being able to bring that energy up and to manifest the things.
So, guys, if we just randomly disappear one day,
Sheba,
it's been a good ride, and just know that we are A-okay. We've told Jesse this before.
We have. And it's not because we drunk fucking poison and killed ourselves, okay? So don't go thinking that.
No, it's because we've ascended up out of this bitch.
Exactly. We probably, who knows, man.
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one.
It is going to be a good one. And things are happening right now, guys. If you're not out in that shitty negative vibe of the old world, then things are really happening up here in this new world. And
I feel like you're saying a little.
I mean, it is, and you should change your vibration patterns so you can come up here with us, because the water's fine up here.
I agree.
But listen,
but I get it also.
You've got to keep those vibes high. That's how you get the positive experiences, and that's how you raise up out of this bitch.
Mm-hmm. That's exactly right. And we know, because let me tell you, when we say we went to purgatory and back, it brought on a whole new different view. Because when you're doing this your whole life, and then you get further and deeper into it, sometimes you do take it for granted, and you need to step back and appreciate how far you have come, because we have been taught that that's egotistic if you do that, but that's not true. Embracing you, your body, your mind, your own consciousness, trusting yourself, overcoming doubt, everything.
Yeah.
That plays a huge part in it. And I forgot what I was fucking talking about.
It does play a huge part. I don't know either, but I do know that this is what I'm supposed to be doing. I 100% feel that I'm on the path that I need to be on. And I think you would agree.
Oh, yeah.
And when you start physically plane walking, it's gonna take you off guard at first, but it's such a crazy ability. And to be able to do that kind of humbles you a little bit, because there's so many people in this world that we have the potential to help. And
always trying to get them up out there is what we're trying to do. Is trying to tell them all kinds of shit. But we, with this change recently, it's weird because I can tell this is different, because usually I'm not going on the whole health kick until after Christmas. It's springtime. That's when I start my walking, my hiking, and all that.
Yeah.
And then, I may make it through the fall, but winter, I'm like done.
Yeah.
And, having to start all over again,
right.
maybe the next year or whatever.
Yeah.
But the whole goal is not to heal the issue that makes us go through these cycles.
Right.
And to understand our relationship with food. And it's not that we were terrible eaters compared to some, but that's our own journey with food.
It is. And
Katie does not have access to this phone.
round 2 fight.
Oh my god, I'm so dry mouthed.
It feels good. Today has been a really nice day. It's been very sunny out, very warm but not too hot.
It feels like fall.
We've been working in the sanctuary all day, so we've had a really awesome, productive day. We got a lot of new product on Appalachian Roots that we've been rolling out and doing some advertisements for that and trying to get a little bit of influx coming in. You know, we've been going through some shit, and when we come out of it strong. You guys know that. And what we're doing right now is we're growing into the version of ourselves that is the elder, or the older, the older versions of ourselves. We're growing into those middle ages, and that's a beautiful transition to me. We were talking about it earlier, I don't mourn my age, I embrace my age, and it's a beautiful rite of passage, it feels like to me to enter into that middle age,
Right.
Something to think about there instead of getting all doom and gloom about it.
We've talked about this before, I've never been doom or gloom about it either. Like when I turned 30, you're supposed to feel a certain way, and I didn't, and all these other ages. Like, I'm happy to step into maturity.
Me too.
And to wear my gray hairs, which I hope are somewhere in there.
Yeah, mine are coming. Yours is showing through there too, especially toward the roots. It's getting.
I'm ready.
a good
Bring it
start.
on.
Yeah, I mean it's I feel like it's a rite of passage, especially in this spiritual aspect.
Yeah.
Beautiful. I mean, I never had thought about that before, so that's out of the mouth of babes right there.
It is your hair. I realize now, like the whole spiritual aspect with your hair.
Yeah.
It's like I think of it as definitely an energy thing.
Oh yeah.
And it's a safety thing.
Well,
of
even
course.
Samson in the Bible, it was an energy thing. His hair brought him his power, and that was his confidence.
Yeah.
And Delilah was smart enough to cut that shit off.
Yeah.
So if that's,
See, I at this point, I couldn't part with my hair.
I know, exactly. It really is very spiritual. I grew mine out for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
And it got about shoulder length, and I decided to cut it off.
Yeah.
It was time. But I needed that in that journey there after I was mourning the loss of Dad and all the other family members. That was something that I could focus on and help me focus with my spirituality.
Yeah. It's patience with
It
yourself.
teaches you a lot, because there's that stage that I always get to, and you know this. I'm like, give me the damn clippers, I'm going to buzz off myself, But it is a definite perseverance thing, self, whatever that's called. Self. Shit. When you're trying to better yourself. Improvement, yeah. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Shit.
Self-improvement.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's true.
And we're becoming better versions of ourselves. The best versions that anybody's seen of us is now.
Yeah.
And that's going to change tomorrow. We're going to be a little better because we're working toward that. And that is an ultimate goal of ours and our calling,
Yeah. So
it's very important growing into this maturity,
It is. And I don't know. It puts things in so much more perspective, spiritually, when you're maturing like that, and to know that you don't know it all, because I grew up and we all grew up where the parents, knew it all, and would never admit that they were wrong to us.
Exactly. Oh no. Never.
Yeah, I want to be that mature person that is open to everything.
Yeah, and I think we do a fairly well job at that. A fairly good job, I should say.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Because we are raw, we are open and honest, and we work on our shit, man. That's what it takes, and it's not something that's built in a day. By no means.
Not. And you have to revisit stuff.
Basically, my whole 20s, I was a dumbass and didn't focus on my spirituality. I'm not afraid to admit that. Most of my growth has come in the past 3 years. And that started with a really bad breakup and all this, But it doesn't matter what causes that shift. It's going to happen, you know. Something's going to shake you enough till you are shook. And I totally lost it there.
You a bitch to continue because I don't know either, man.
Yeah.
I was over here looking in the third eye view,
Yeah.
and everything was going.
Yeah, I was getting distracted there too.
Whenever I scry through Dallas.
Yeah.
So typically, you know, you pick a partner that you're comfortable with spiritually, and you scry at each other.
And that was basically me channeling energy right there. What you guys just heard, all of that rambling of a spiritual madman is.
I can't remember what you was saying.
That is given through spirit, so it's channeled energy that we connect with, and that's what we're getting out to you guys, and that's why we're so passionate about it.
Yeah.
Oh, that sounds wonderful.
Shoot some gum.
Dry mouthed. Did we talk about size on the show last?
We did. No, we didn't. We didn't talk about that with anybody.
No, that's funny. We were in the thick of things last night during meditation, and go ahead.
So we got, I don't know what even started us on a conversation about size, but then we talked about like people we knew who had like that kind of repetitive behavior where they have certain things they do, like
and how sighs are basically like a cry for attention.
Yeah.
But also, if you notice, if you talk about a sigh, it kind of has the same effect as yawning. Because you're sitting there, I guarantee, listening to this show, and you're like, you'll have to do it. It's just something you do.
And it's a release, too. You got to think of it that way.
And we talked about, we liken that to
Grounding.
And breath work. Which it's all the same. It's our body. We sit there in deep meditation, and our body's not breathing. So it's its way of getting our attention back to us, and we're like, when we do it, it sounds kind of like you're legitly popping back into your body. We've talked about this very early on Contact Buzz, but
it's interesting to see this stuff and being able to step back from it. I'm amazed by that. I'm amazed about how we're able to understand it, because I've never thought of myself as being intellectual. But
you are.
But I am, and but I'm intellectual in other ways.
Right, you're intellectual in the spiritual aspects of what really matters, because that's what we connect with, you know.
I don't connect with this histories and science and all that.
No, because history's proven time and time again to be made up garbage by the man, you know.
Some people think that these people have the secret, which I totally probably. Come on now, we're all meant to remember who we are. Some of us have remembered and then gotten control. And had an ego. And
the ego is what gets you. Like these celebrities, they know the secret, they find the secret, they make it big, but they take advantage of it. And karma's not going to allow you a gift such as that and not have something to take in its stead there, you know?
Exactly. It's like, at the crossroads.
Yeah, exactly. You buy that shit in blood, so to speak. You're been taking some major karma points when you do shit like that, you know?
It's like somebody who's worked like their ass off on their spirituality for the last 10 years and, slowly built up things, and they do it the right way.
And there's celebrities like Keanu Reeves that really impress me, that are very spiritual or seem very spiritual and are just kind human beings that do use their fame and their fortune for good, you know. There's a lot of
them that's awakened
philanthropists and stuff.
I was just talking about too is how some of the movies that are coming out now have a lot of spirituality in them. Like even if they're just poking fun at us,
still getting it out there.
It is getting out there, and it's talked about.
And it's a great message.
It is.
I mean, you can call it cheesy or whatever, but it is a great message. And we all know that spirit will convey messages any way they see fit, you know. So, I mean, if that's what it's going to take for you to hear that message is through a movie, then so be it. You know?
I think that's how I've worked a lot too, like with the documentaries. I think they've, I've always innately, we've talked about it, is
pick the ones that
you knew if it resonated with you or not.
Absolutely.
And that's why I've never understood people who could take up a liking to something because of someone else.
Yeah, like serial killers.
Yeah, like it's crazy.
Yeah.
Well, if you're in that lower vibrational
Yeah.
plane of thinking, then you're obsessed with them shows.
Yeah.
I mean, seriously, you might not think you are, but it's just your defense mechanism and your ego coming
Yeah.
up, and
Mm-hmm.
that's no judgment. It's just that
It just is what it is.
Yeah, it
Call
is
it
what
like
it
you
is.
see it.
You know, I used to watch Criminal Minds all the time. I loved that show.
I used to watch ID all the time. and
Yeah.
that is so
Yeah.
low vibrational.
It is,
keeps you down in
man.
that garbage, you know, because you see the worst of humanity, which we see enough of on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Let alone in movies and shit like that, you know.
Yeah.
Or true television shows.
Yeah. I mean, why do we feel the need to watch that?
I know. It's another one of them consorts from man.
They probably also could. I mean, this is just a theory putting it out there, but some of these people could be healing a trauma generationally that they didn't know about
That's true.
because someone in their family killed someone, and
Right.
maybe they got away with it. Maybe, you know, back then that's definitely a possibility.
God, yeah, definitely.
Yeah, and that generational trauma.
It carries forward
carries
somehow
forward
or
because it's
another.
not healed.
Even if you don't know nothing about it, you still have that in you, you know,
Yeah.
that you have to heal.
Wouldn't it be awesome to be able to sit down and know them traits and be able to say this person is, you know, receptive to, if they don't heal, to be a serial killer.
Yeah, right.
You
Yeah.
know,
I
it's
mean,
just
I'm
like,
sure that there's people out there that could recognize that
Mm-hmm.
trait in somebody.
yeah, I think that's where the psychoanalysts come in.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is, I get it. So this is what probably some of the state of the art in the underground military and everything.
Oh, yeah.
This is the same thing that they know.
Yeah.
Huh. That's
It's
crazy to
interesting.
think about. Huh?
Who knows, you know?
For real.
I don't discount much these days.
Me neither. I think, like, my focus, our focus, a lot of people's focus is to bring it back to community. I yearn for that so badly.
Oh, yeah. We know that that's how it's going to be, you know.
Yeah, we've been manifesting it, putting it out there.
We've been in a sweet spot right now. It's been a very beautiful time period.
Yes. And you know what, guys, when Spirit says you only get receive enough, it's true.
It isn't just enough.
Just enough.
Yeah. And how can you go wrong with that?
No, you can't.
If you truly start to heal yourself, you'll appreciate that so much.
Yep.
And we've gotten there in the past few years, you know.
Hell yeah.
As long as I have a roof over my head and I have food coming in to eat and a safe place or whatever, then I am happy. And as long as that's taken care of for me, you know, that's all I ask for. And it's a beautiful thing to be able to live that simple, you know. I don't care a bit about fancy cars or things like that, you know. That's not my
Yeah.
interests.
Yeah. Not mine either. I remember at one time, I always, because especially with the boys were little.
Well, you grew up a certain way and you wanted to do
yeah.
better. I know what
Yeah.
that means. I've been there too.
I've always struggled financially. We've never been above the low income, like
Yeah.
poverty
Right.
line,
Same here.
and then you get used to it when you start to heal it. And that's what people around here do, though. They don't heal it, and they end up hoarders and overworking themselves
Yeah.
to keep up. You know.
Yeah, they follow the status quo. You know?
Uh-huh.
They think they have to have the best cars and the best houses and clothes and life ain't about that right there. If you're working 90 hours a week to afford a lifestyle like that, then you're doing it wrong. Honey, you got it wrong.
That's right. It's not the way you want to live.
I mean, it's so
For stuff?
mundane. Yeah, so mundane. And most people are working a job that they absolutely hate.
Oh, God, yeah.
They loathe their jobs. And then here they are, stuck with all these bills.
Bills and debt.
Ugh.
Or they get in relationships where they have to keep up another person who has a very high standard.
Yeah.
So
If somebody's like that, I don't even want them to be in my life, man.
No.
Just go on to the next one, because I am good there.
If we can't be poor together,
Right.
then you might as well walk on.
Yep, exactly. Now, if you're going to come in and sit down with me and act like just one of us, and you still have plenty of money, then you're more than welcome, you know?
Exactly. We don't judge.
No.
Just don't
be a
bring no
good
ego
human.
through this door.
I don't care if you have $8 million in your bank account or $8 in your bank account. I'm going to treat you the same way.
That's right. Preach on.
And I wish that everybody else saw it that way, but they
Me
don't.
too.
It's a dying art, man. Respect is a dying art. But we won't get into that old chestnut.
Joseph Durable, the one who said, I unfortunately have them. I was born with them. Oh, God.
What is it?
Hemorrhoids. I said,
Oh, yeah, we're talking about hemorrhoids, by the way.
if you're not talking about your hemorrhoids in casual conversation with friends, are you really friends with the Gordy's Club? He's Gary Necessary said, I mean, really though, those types have friends. Have already heard so much worse that this is delightfully casual chat.
That's funny. Yeah, we like to throw shit out there on the occasion.
Yeah, I love that.
Give everybody a good laugh and break from reality for a moment. That's what people suffer from. Misdirected perception. If they would change their perspective, it would change their life. Guess what, guys? We're at the Harvest Moon tomorrow night. I think it's a...
Oh, God, I
the
forgot we
Harvest
were
Moon.
recording.
Yeah.
Oh, God. I totally
figured
disconnected
you
from
did.
reality.
But that's okay. It was a good
Sorry,
conversation.
guys.
That was a very candid, real conversation.
It was. We was talking about the hemorrhoids.
Yeah.
That's why we was talking about the
Yeah,
body.
well, that's what brought on the middle age thing that
Yeah.
we just talked about.
If you ain't talking hemorrhoids with your friends, then are you really friends?
Right.
That is the question.
That's a
Because
good
if you can't roll with the roids, you can't roll with us.
Exactly.
Oh, shit.
We talked about poorness too, I
Yeah.
remember.
We were on it.
We were.
Y'all can watch that live, by the way.
Yeah, y'all should watch that live. It's a good show.
It's on my personal page, but it's all public, so
Yeah.
Holly Mullins.
Check it
Holly
out.
with an H. I know, everybody says
And
Molly?
I know. And it was, yesterday? What is yes? Or no, that was today.
That was today. That was...
What is today's date? September. Gosh, I don't even know. The 9th? I think it's the 9th.
It is the
Okay,
night.
good.
You were right.
So search September 9th is when the post will be. You can watch a good show.
I shared it on all the outlets, too,
Cool.
so...
Yeah. Appalachian Spiritual Retreats, Appalachian Roots, Behind the Third Eye.
Yeah. Intuitive healer, Holly Mullins.
We were just talking, we've been doing the whole Facebook Live thing for over 2 years now, and it's evolved so much. We started the little spiritual vomits back in the day. That was back in the summer of 2020, and we talked about, it was more scripted per se. It was more directed. We knew what we wanted to get on there and
we
say.
didn't want to
talk
have
about.
dead air and
Yeah.
shit. When you do this for so long,
Yeah.
you know. What?
It's uncomfortable if you have dead air and all
Yeah.
that. But we started flowing so well together that we just,
Yeah.
I mean, we didn't even need a structure or anything.
Exactly.
But we used to do these cute little, and we may in the future, theme shows,
Yeah.
like Alexander Graham Bell. And
Yeah,
we would try
I
to be
forgot about
cheeky
that
about
shit.
it, And it involved into us just doing lives whenever we feel like doing it. Because
Yeah. Just
we-
speaking our truth.
Yeah, speaking our truth, exactly. And that's the beauty of this right here. Well, we really don't hold back on any of our outlets.
No. No.
We're probably a little more candid on here than anywhere, but
Yeah.
we'll talk about anything, you know that.
Exactly. I
But
love it.
it's been really cool to see how it's evolved because it turned into the Mystic, and we realized we didn't need Into the Mystic.
No.
And then it just turned into
Just us.
us.
Posting wherever.
Exactly, which is organic as hell.
Yeah. It's too much to keep up.
It is.
That gets tiring, man, and I can't give my full effort to all these different
There's so much
pages.
that we've got going on.
They
you know?
are. It's like people normally that would have that many pages would have assistants.
Yeah, which we need. If we
God
had
bless
a
us.
beautiful assistant, that would be amazing.
I'm thankful for Dallas because he tells me the dates all
We
the
help
time.
each other a lot, so
Yeah.
it's good to have two people frontlining a business, man. Especially two that get on
Have
the
work
same
ethic.
wave.
Yeah. Oh God, yeah. We run a tight ship. We
Right.
work with what we got, man, and just make it rock out. Because we used to, and it was nerves, you know.
Yeah.
And you get nervous about how it's going to go. And then you worry yourself to death that you can't enjoy it. So
Yeah.
that's another thing too, is like people work themselves up so much they can't enjoy it. I used
Oh,
to
I
do it
know.
all the time with the boys when they were younger,
Yeah.
and I realized that's a part of me as a growing up with them. Was realizing about myself.
Yeah.
But little things like that make people get angry and
Oh,
not
I know.
enjoy themselves.
Just little triggers.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
Heal yourselves, people.
That's the biggest favor that anybody could ever do themselves is to
For
heal.
themselves. You
Yeah,
know,
why
definitely.
not? Heal yourself. You are the most important person in your little universe. So you should make yourself a priority. You should figure out what causes your triggers and heal that shit so you don't send that negative energy out into the world. You know? And I am the biggest culprit. I worked through a lot of shit like that, you know?
Yeah.
Even in the most spiritual times in my life, you know?
Yeah.
We're not perfect. Nobody is.
No, we're not. And everybody's got their depths of trauma.
But you can sure strive to be, you know?
Yeah. I think holding yourself accountable is what it's all,
100%.
Part of.
Yeah.
you know,
If you
recognizing
lose that ability to care for yourself like that, then what good is life, you know?
Uh-huh.
Because you've given 100% control over to another person
Mhm.
in one way, shape, form, or fashion.
Yeah.
And that would be it was a sad existence living in that shit, you know?
Mhm.
Thank God I'm an awakened one, you know?
Yeah.
Phew, do I ever thank God for that, or spirit, whatever you want to say, Buddha?
Amen.
That is beautiful conversation, and I can't wait to hear this episode, and I hope you guys enjoy it.
Yeah.
And we'll see you in a couple weeks, probably.
Yeah.
Peace out.
Peace out.